what's next? Jackson, talk to me.
Well, we've got some injury reports, as Coach DeBoer talked about in the press conference. He talked a little bit about Ryan Williams hurting. He was talking about John Marion Latham, and there's a few others. A lower body injury. DeBoer said, we'll see how he progresses. He'll be day to day throughout the week. And then Isaiah Horton, really proud of the way he fought through a lower body injury they had, but just kept fighting through Saturday. Was certainly limited. Still feeling that a little
I
bit, but
got
he
you.
just
I got you.
continued to compete. He's someone that it doesn't surprise me that what we saw, we expect him to be full go by the end of the week. Will build ups as he could tolerate here early on. And yeah, Ryan Williams had that concussion in the fourth quarter. Yeah, we need to make sure he's healthy. Like it's like you don't have to come back at for Louisiana Monroe. You just chill. Yep, Jaden Roberts. He dressed on Saturday, but he didn't play against Florida State.
As expected, I kept telling people the protocol that he's under is not your traditional concussion protocol. I think there's some other things outliers that's kind of you definitely want to monitor, especially in a game like Florida State. You want to give all your veteran presence the opportunity to go with things that you're kind of sure with, that you really think are going to be needed later on in the season. Offensive line wise, I think the only problem I had with the O line this weekend was the tackles, and we'll talk about that a little bit more as we continue to go into the show. But I don't expect Ryan Williams to be on the field this weekend. Ja Latham, same thing. We know Tim Keenan and Jam Williams will continue to be out. I expect Isaiah Horton to play. Jaden Roberts, I don't expect much. I don't expect him to play this weekend. If he's still going through partial reps in practice. And if so, I would love to see, and I talked about this on my show, I would love to see a mix up on an offensive line, man. I would love to see if Caden Proctor can slide in the guard and transition between these next 2 weeks and be effective at guard, because he's not effective at tackle. His athleticism is starting to get exposed. It's been 3 years we've been waiting for him to blossom and be consistent. And this past Saturday, of the tackles that played in the game, he was not the better of the tackles, and we struggled at that position. We've been struggling at that position. So I would love to see a little change up there to see how things just flow. Jaden Roberts is one of those guys that's versatile on that offensive line that played guard and tackle, was recruited to Alabama as a tackle, kind of shifted into guard when there was a lot of injuries there, 3 years ago now. I would love to see him get an opportunity to go back to tackle and see if we can provide some balance, especially in our run game, because the running backs are ready. The running backs are ready. We hand the ball. We need to hand the ball to him more to see how this offensive line is going to perform. But we know Jaden Roberts that's his specialty. He's a blocking offensive lineman, run blocking offensive lineman. That's his specialty. So I would love to see him get fully healthy and see about mixing that offensive line up. But what y'all thinking about? What you thinking about these injuries, man? Any impactful injuries that you see really interrupting the flow and the growth of this team as far as either side of the ball,
Man,
Jeffrey?
Well,
Tim
I think that when
Keenan,
looking at
that's
these injuries, I feel like when you're talking about Ryan Williams and Horton, I mean, Horton, like you said, most likely will probably play. But I think that those can maybe, be a benefit for now because of the fact that you can get Rico Scott, more snaps. You get some of the younger receivers. We got a lot of young receivers. Get those guys run against UL Monroe and see which ones stand out. Rico Scott already kind of stood out against Florida State, so I really like seeing that. So, I mean, I'm not that concerned with their injuries. I am concerned about Ryan Williams long term. He's going to be back, probably against Wisconsin in week 3.
Yeah.
But they got to find a way to utilize him without him getting murdered, because Ryan Williams is he's getting abused out there. I mean, on these crosser routes, he's just getting smacked, and he's small. He has not been able to get his frame in a position where he can take hits. I think that they got to figure that out. They got to figure out how to utilize Ryan Williams in a safer way, because if not, he's not going to make it the full length of the season. He just isn't. So Horton, if he plays, great against UL Monroe. If not, no big deal. With Keenan, again, be great to get him back soon, hopefully for SEC play. But It's tough that we don't have him. Again, I just don't really want to use it as an excuse to say, hey, if we would have had him, we would have beat Florida State. I don't think it's the end of the world with him being out because, again, we're supposed to have a lot of depth at D-line and linebacker, but they just haven't been performing well. Jam Miller, that's another guy. People be like, okay, if he had been able to play against Florida State, well, I don't think it would have mattered. Jam Miller did not
hand the
really
ball
do
off
a
enough.
lot. He didn't do a lot in a lot of games last year because we don't run the ball that well because our O-line's struggling. So Richard Young, Daniel Hill, Washington, Jam Miller, doesn't matter who it is. We would not have run the ball well. We got to figure that out. We got to do some different run schemes, run fits, whatever we got to do to get these guys some more yards, more opportunities to get yards. So with the injuries, I'm not really concerned about the injury report overall, especially for this game, because, I mean, if it's competitive against UL Monroe, it has nothing to do with the fact that these guys are not playing if they don't play. It's just because we really are bad. So, the injury report I'm not concerned about right now since most of the injuries aren't long-term. But I think the biggest concern I have is just Ryan Williams long-term. They got to figure out how to keep him healthy.
And that's going to be the trick to the potion, man. That's going to be the secret ingredient going forward. I truly believe this staff came in with a mindset to really transition past him being the primary option. Jeremy Bernard, Rico Scott, Batsier Brooks, Cole Adams, Jalen Hill. I truly believe this is the opportunity for us to see the value in those guys. I've been telling y'all, man, and I told y'all at the beginning of the season. I told y'all before the season started off. I just saw the sophomore slump coming. One, he did not display consistency in catching the ball last season, being a true freshman as you expected, but literally 10 targets, 3 drops. If you want to continue those averages, just imagine 3 big drops a game from your number one receiver. Like, it's possible that you see that. It's clear that they want to keep him as implement him in the game plan and make him a focal point in some phase of the offensive scheme. But you have to be a lot more efficient in securing catches, and not all of your passes are going to be perfect. Clearly, you're talking about Ty Simpson. He underthrew all but maybe 2 passes in this game. Either were late or underthrown to where receivers either had to stop. You didn't see anybody catch the ball in stride this past game, which is something I did not expect from Ty Simpson. So if that's going to be the mode of the season, you got to adjust. Jeremy Bernard made some tough catches. Josh Cuevas, even though he had 3 big drops, he made some tough catches. They weren't accurate. My thing is this: if they touch your hands, you gotta secure the ball. If it touches your hands, you secure the ball. You missed the football. You're the number one receiver coming out of your recruiting class. All of these things behind you. You've been putting all this work. You put on this weight to take the beating of the SEC schedule. Now it's time to see it all roll on the field, and I just saw a lack of focus in that game. But I truly believe if anybody's going to fix anything that needs to be fixed, it'll be this young man. I know the family, I know the people around him, I know they camp, and it's going to be fixed. It's going to be fixed. And so, are you guys worried about him coming across on the crossers? That's what he lives for. That's why he's one of the greats, one of the ones that's going to be different, because he's found a way to be successful in that. He's not just a upfield, vertical burner. This young man is a very skilled, adept route runner. And when he's using his hands to catch, that's when you see him have problems. So we got to get him past that. Get off your chest. Get off your shoulder pads. Get off your chest. Use your hands. They're there for a reason. So I think we're in good position, like you said, Jeffrey.